Hello mga kapamilya, nandito na naman tayo sa isa pang episode of Power. This time, may kinidnap ako sa gitna ng wedding. None other than Master Eva Ditan.
Hello. Kamusta mga kapamilya? Hello,
Yes.
thank you, Gaby.
Well, thank you. Nandito po kami sa States ngayon, sa San Francisco to be exact, in the middle of a wedding. She was kind enough to let me take her time and interview her. All just for you guys. Ever since kilala na kita as a master taekwondista,
Yes.
can you tell me how it started?
Nag-umpisa siya nung 6 years old pa ako. And then, meron kami taekwondo gym sa Las Piñas. We have our own taekwondo gym.
Oh, wow.
Nanonood lang ako sa habang may class. Tapos, I was wearing neon pink shorts.
Neon pink shorts!
Neon pink shorts. Tapos sabi ko, gusto ko sumali. Tapos first class guys, nakipag-sparring na agad ako.
Wow! First class mo. Oh, okay, and then how did that go about? How did you feel about that?
It was really good and because of that, tuloy-tuloy na ako.
So, dun pa lang, nung nag-spar ka, nasaktan ka ba? Nasipa ka ba? Ano yung feeling? Nanalo ka? Kaya nasabi mo, uy, may naka ko dito. Gusto kong mag-sparring ulit. This is my life calling, di ba?
Hindi kasi mahilig ako sa Jackie Chan movies.
Okay. Uso yun noon.
Uso yun.
Every parang hapon, di ba? Pinapalabas
Every
sa
Sunday
TV.
ata yun. Basta masarap magsipa-sipa. So parang gusto ko sumali. So sumali agad ako sa class.
Mga Kung Fu Master, Drunken, di ba? Drunken Master,
yes.
yun.
That's one of my
yun.
favorite movies. Drunken
Wow!
Master, yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that. May gym ka. Was it your family that influenced you to
Yes, it
start?
was my
Okay.
family. My lolo owned that school. Yung uncle ko was the first one who did taekwondo in the family. Pangalan si Gaby Martin, siya yung unang-unang nagmedalya for the Philippines.
Wow!
Yes, siya yung una.
Unang-una.
And then my brother, kaya ako nag-start kasi yung half-brother ko, which is Arnold Baradi, nakita ko siya nanalo ng Asian gold medal siya yung first Asian. Napanood ko siya sa TV ko, gusto ko mag-taekwondo. So, siya yung nag-umpisa. Kaya ako na-excite. Gusto ko sumali.
Kakaiyak naman yan. So, lineage pala to.
Yes. May 2 other sisters too, kasali sila. Actually, lahat kami. 6 kami magkakapatid. Lahat kami nagta-taekwondo.
Lahat kayo naging competitive ba? Were there others that decided to do it just for fun?
Out of 6, 5 lang yung nag-compete. But out of 6, 4 lang kami nag-black belt.
Wow, that's a good ratio right there. 5 lang nag-compete, 4 nag-black
Yes,
belt.
and lahat kami nag-national team. Nag-Philippine team kami lahat, 4.
Sa dugo yan, guys.
Aside from taekwondo, nag-basketball din ako for school, nag-soccer ako. So, iba-ibang
Varsity.
sports. Yes.
Hindi rin siya, overachiever, no?
Hindi. Pero I love taekwondo kasi mas challenging kahit masakit siya sa katawan.
Basketball and soccer, those are both group sports.
Yes.
They're team sports. How did that go about between like you and taekwondo, yung dynamic nun? I know taekwondo, di ba, team rin siya. Pero when you have your sparring match, one-on-one siya.
Yes.
Pwede mo bang ikwento yung differences and what you liked about it?
I think the one thing I like about taekwondo because siguro kasi talagang bata para gusto ko Jackie Chan. I like
Okay.
kicking. Very fancy kasi mga sipa ng taekwondo. So,
Yes.
ganda tignan sa mata. At the same time, I have more control. Mas gusto ko yung if you work hard, then you do good. Well, of course, sometimes you don't really win most of the time. Mas excited sa akin taekwondo. Basketball, because we're in a team, it was really fun. Basketball and soccer were really fun because you're with your teammates. You share your wins, you share your losses. But taekwondo talaga, I cannot express more than that. Basta gusto ko.
Okay, taekwondo talaga, guys. Nag-taekwondo ka ever since you were 6. Then by grade school, were you competing parang competitive level na ba siya?
Yes, I think 1984 ako nag-start. Then first competition ko was 1989.
Within 5 years, nagko-compete ka na.
Nationals yun.
Nationals na yun.
And then wala pang babae nun. So kalaban ko puro boys.
Uy!
Yes.
Uy, that I did not know about.
I think it was 1992 or 93. Doon lang ako nagkaroon ng babaeng kalaban.
This is all local sa Pilipinas or international na?
Local lang yung guys.
Local yung guys.
Yes.
Hindi ba nagkaroon ng medyo conflict or nahiritan ka na parang, uy, bawal to kasi babae ka? Wala namang gano'n.
Wala naman. Ang nakakatawa lang kasi since wala masyadong babae noon, so before ng match, they would like do inspection. So, yung referee ready na to hawakan yung groin ko. Babae ako! I'm a girl! So, at yun lang naman. So, nasahan sila po lalaki.
Yeah.
For grade school division. Tsaka sa family kasi walang babae ka, walang lalaki ka. So, I think I was lucky enough when it comes to that. Yeah.
Okay, so there wasn't any gender biases.
Yes,
wala ka naman naramdaman sa sport mo. That's good.
Wala.
You broke the ground for other women to compete. After that, when did you start competing internationally?
1996.
96?
Yes. Kasi nung 94, nakapasok na ako sa team. Tapos 95, natanggal ako.
Okay, parang juicy yan ah.
Yes, pero tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang training ko. Sumasama pa rin ako sa mga kapatid ko sa national team train. Buti nila yung national team, they allow me to train with them.
Okay.
Tapos 96, yun yung first competition ko sa Melbourne, Australia.
Wow! Okay. And what was that competition?
It's an Asian Championships.
Asian Championships. Kamusta naman? Can you tell me about the experience? Was that the first time for you to travel as well? Or nakapunta ka ng Australia dati or ibang bansa?
First time. Nanalo ko ng bronze medal yun.
Nice!
Tapos,
Okay, congrats!
Natalo ako against Korea. Ang taekwondo galing sa Korea. So, sobrang lakas sila. And then, dun ako, first international competition. Then, first time ko na knockdown.
Wow! Okay, kamusta naman yung feeling na yon?
Nasipa ako ng turning hook kick. Kasi matatalo na ako. The score was 3-2.
Okay.
Sugod ako ng sugod. Kasi matatalo na ako bilang nag-turning hook kick siya sa ulo.
Aray!
And then, nahulog ako. So, dito ako tinamaan, pero dito sumakit.
Ganun kalala.
Yes, malakas siya. Hindi ako kumakain masyado, but pinili ko kasi siyempre Australia, masarap yung
Yes! Oh my God! Matigas pa talaga yung gusto mong kainin, di ba?
Bubblegum talagang nag-practice talaga para hindi ganun sumakit.
Okay.
It was really fun kasi yung time niya kasama ko yung eldest sister ko.
Okay.
Si Catherine.
Alright.
Marcelino. Siya yung kasama ko sa team yung time niyan. And then my other sister is Diana. Pumunta siya sa Australia para manood.
Full support!
They were singing my favorite song. Kasi habang naglalaro ko parang
wow, parang chant.
Yes.
Galing. And what is that favorite song?
Plastic Dreams.
Plastic Dreams. May sample ba dyan? Yun.
Basta mahilig ako sa techno ng time na yun. Techno ako.
Okay, nice. Tell me naman how your journey towards the Olympics.
That year was my first, and then I think few months after, we went to World University in Russia.
Okay.
Kasama ko best friend ko si Aiza. Every year, we have 3 and 4 international competition. During that time, ang pangarap ko lang is mag-world champion. World champion lang ako noon.
World champion. Maliit lang daw na pangarap.
World champion lang. So, Olympics wasn't part of my dream. Hindi talaga siya. Yung 96 Olympics, hindi kasama taekwondo sa Olympics. So, wala siya sa utak ko.
Okay. That's why.
Yes. Na-realize ko na, 1999.
Okay.
Yung magka-qualify na kami for Olympics. Doon lang sinabi na,
So, the first time when it was gonna be a demo, no?
No, that's an official sport.
Official na.
Yes.
Kasi demo siya dati.
Yes.
Then, officially, 1999. How do you go about that? Don't you have to compete or win certain events
Yes.
in order to qualify,
First,
right?
I have to qualify for the Philippines. I have to beat all my Filipino
Okay, so that's the
competitors
first
here.
step.
That's the first one. Second time, we had to go to Croatia for the World Qualifiers. Then, nagkaroon kami ng Asian Qualifier sa Philippines ginawa. Pero sa Asian Qualifier, kailangan at least silver medal ako. Sinuwerte ako kasi malalakas ang kalaban ko. But sinuwerte ako, nanalo ako for silver. But the thing is, dati, you only have to qualify for the weight category ng country, not as Eva Marie.
Okay.
So, kahit
How does that
ako
go?
nanalo for the Asian qualifier, meron pa rin kami series of qualification.
So hindi pa siya, parang kahit pinanalunan mo yung bansa mo, hindi pa rin ibig sabihin ikaw yung makakapot ng Olympics.
Pwede maging Gaby Dela Merced yung time na yun, pwede.
Okay, medyo tricky yun ah.
Yes. And hindi porket qualify ka na,
Okay.
pwede ka na mag-relax.
Alright.
But still, you have to keep your...
Okay. Well, that's good. At least, it keeps you up on your toes.
Yes.
Hindi ka naglalax and
Yes,
everything.
yes.
Obviously, you did it. You qualified and everything. You beat all the odds. You beat everyone. How was it? How was the feeling of your first Olympics?
It was kind of vague.
Saan Olympics ka?
Sa Sydney, vague in a way kasi for me, every competition is just the same. Nag-hit lang sarili ako, shoot, Olympics to. Nung sa nag-ikot na kami sa Olympic Village kasi, Italy, USA.
Galing.
So it's really a big deal.
Yeah.
And then the opening ceremony, and you see coaches like Akiko Thompson, you see Tony Leviste, yung mga great boxers.
Yes.
So talagang wow.
The best of the best are
And
there.
12 lang kami na nag-represent for the country. Talagang big deal siya.
Wow.
Pero yung kaba.
So there was swimming, gymnastics?
May swimming
Taekwondo?
like 4 of them, Taekwondo 4, and they have boxing, I think 4 then. Then merong rowing,
Okay.
merong equestrian, merong diving.
That's amazing. You've been living in the US for quite some time, ba?
Yes, since 2005.
Since 2005. Okay, more or less dun ko siya nakilala. So since 2005, I know you went here with a special skill set, right?
Yes.
And you were teaching here. How did that transition go from like being the athlete, being the competitor, to being the person behind the scenes trying to groom all these athletes?
I like it better. Mas gusto ko maging coach. Yes.
Paano mo naman na-feel na, okay, yun ang calling ko in the middle of all this competition?
Yes. Kasi, I mean, like what we talked about last time, not every player could be a good coach. It's just that when I started coaching, it was really tough kasi I don't really know about teaching. Alam ko na mag-train.
Okay.
But the only thing I remember was every time I teach, I want to make sure the kid should be better than me. So at least yung shortcomings ko before as an athlete, I have to like pour it into athletes. Just more like a discipline, respect. Yun lang gusto na natuto eh.
Yes.
Hindi pa talaga sa competitive, but more of like you give value to their life and you teach them how to be a better person and help them with their, goal setting, all those stuff.
All the different aspects,
Oh,
no?
yes.
All the different aspects.
Had I known, nagturo din ako while I'm competing. Kasi mas
Okay.
nakikita ko eh.
Pero focus rin yun. Ang galing rin eh. I think what makes you also a great coach is that you know what it's like to be at the top. You know, because some coaches, yes, they're very eloquent, but some of them also, it's different wherein everything's just theoretical. Then from someone who's really competed and has been there, you know the trudge, yung mga heartbreak na
Yes,
yan, di ba? Are there any memorable moments na specifically na batang tinuruan mo, na lumaki na proud ka, or mga like, uy, grabe, ito yung special memory ko of like kahit some random person?
I think there's 3 of them na gustong-gusto ko. Kasi one, pangalan is Marina. Kasi meron sa taekwondo kasi hindi lahat kaya kong style.
Okay.
So
before we, what is your style? What is Eva Ditan's style?
Oh, I'm a counter setup person.
Counter set. Alam mo, alam ko lang yan sa Street Fighter eh.
Yes.
Yung mga counter attacks.
Yes, yung counter attack yun. So,
Okay.
ang laro ko is, ako laging attack na attack lang. So, ang gagawin ko, I will like do a fake or a check and then other person will attack. So, doon lang ako sa sipa.
Okay.
Yes. So, yung coaching, kasama ko sa yung kapatid ko sa coaching. They own the school and then
Wow!
her husband was also a national team player.
Galing.
Silver medalist sa World Championships.
Wow! Galing!
So,
Kami, family affair
Tag
talaga.
team kami mag-coach. Pare-pares kami ng goals na gusto namin magagaling. Siguro lahat ng style, tuturuan kita. Lahat ng pwede mong gawin, tuturo ko sa'yo. And then, ikaw na pipili. So, parang buffet. Andyan lahat, your choice. Ikaw ang bahala.
Gusto ko yan. Gusto ko ng
Yes.
buffet.
Pero yung fights
yung
mas exciting. Yung talagang,
Ay, malamang.
Yes.
So, mas kabado ka ba ngayon na
yes.
yung mga bata mo?
kasi pag ikaw lang naglalaro, kaba mo lang. Pero, ilang bating coaching mo isang araw. And then, ilang fights. Tapos, syempre, kailangan mo sila i-motivate. You have to make them feel like they're prepared. Relax sila.
Yeah.
So, a lot of aspects. Pero mas exciting.
Mas exciting.
Yes.
At least, di ba, you found your calling. Or was there an opportunity that it was just given to you?
My sister and her husband, they have a school here.
So niyaya ka ng kapatid mo?
O sabi niya na, papunta ka dito. Try it out in the US. I mean, you'll never know if it's gonna work out for you. So, after ko mag-retire from Philippine team, 1 year lang ako para relax. And then I went here in the US. And then nagturo na ako. Then from then, gusto ko pala magturo.
Gusto, na-enjoy mo
na-enjoy
naman
ko
pala.
siya.
So, Eva, for you, what is your definition of power?
Wow. power is a very deep, but for me, power is knowing what you want to do and sticking to what you want to do and just believing yourself that you can achieve your goal, whatever happens.
Yeah.
That's power.
That's like sticking to it. It's
Yes.
not enough that you just know what you want to do. You have to stick to it and you have to believe in yourself.
And
That
be
is.
persistent.
Persistence
Yes.
is key, guys. Speaking of persistence, can you give some advice to the people or like people who want to get into Taekwondo or people who realize na, oy, baka gusto kong behind the scene athlete sila, gusto nilang, oy, gusto ko rin pala magturo. Is there anything that you want to say na parang to help them start out?
Taekwondo is really a good sport, not just a sport, but kasi lahat naman sport teaches you discipline, right? You have a fighting spirit. But for me, Taekwondo also teaches you yung delayed gratification.
Delayed
Kasi
gratification.
first, before you
Okay.
get to compete, you have to have a certain belt level to compete.
Okay.
So for a beginner like white belt, to get to black belt, you have to do it like for 45 months.
For 45 months.
Bago ka mag-black
Wow,
belt.
okay.
First degree black belt lang yon. So, ang dami matutunan ng sipa, yung mga sinasabi ko mga flashy kicks, just a simple block.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like for this one, if I'm gonna ask you to do this, it looks simple, but not everyone can do it like ganun kabilis. So, everything we do, you have to be patient.
It's repetition,
Yes.
it's muscle memory.
Yes. Like lahat naman tayo when it comes to like doing something. Like for example, mag-gym ka, or you wanna have a good body. Hindi mo po isang beses pag-isip mo, maganda yung katawan mo,
Yes.
diba? So tuloy-tuloy lang, consistency, and then discipline, and then you have to plan time management also. Like tayo ngayon, there are a lot of things going on. Ang daming kailangan magtrabaho, kailangan mag-alaga ng bata, kailangan maggawin to.
Yeah, life still
Yes.
happens.
Yes.
Wise words, but that is true. A lot of people kasi, especially when they wanna get into something or they're waiting for something, they think it's like a big life-changing moment.
Yes.
Na parang ting, na parang uy, yan na pala yun. No, what people don't realize, it's all about the baby steps. It's all about that first step of like getting up in the morning.
Yes.
That first 2 weeks of like just persevering, you know.
Exactly.
Where do you plan to put your rings? I believe, kung ako, dream ko kasi maging Olympian, guys. And gustong-gusto ko talaga. Sabi ko, pag naging Olympian ako, magkakaroon ako ng rings. Itatattoo ko yan talaga sa katawan ko. Oh, dito ko ilalagay. Are you planning to get the stamp?
Yes.
And if yes, where?
Sa left leg ko dito. Kasi I'm a lefty. So,
Oh yes, you know they say lefties are very smart.
sa sipa lang, pero sa kanan pa rin.
So lefty ka sa sipa pero you're right-handed.
Yes.
And Eva, you showed me the other day that you have this thing going on that you want to commemorate Filipino athletes, the less mainstream ones or the ones before all this social media. And I found it really exciting. Can you please tell us a little bit more about that? Baka gusto nyong sundan. Kasi ang galing, ang rami with that span of like 5 minutes na pinakita niya sa akin yung Instagram niya. Ang rami kong natutunan about the Philippines and about our
Yes.
local athletes. Galing!
I started a group sa Instagram. Actually, it was my friends from here in the US. We have a group called Barangay Jologs, and then they told me like, oh, ba't di ka gawa ng group mo for athletes din? So naisip ko Atletang Pinoy.
Atletang Pinoy.
So,
very direct to the point,
Yes,
guys.
kasi I think ang problema sa atin, and like me, ang tagal ko sa sports, and I just found out na meron na pala tayong mga gold medalists. Like we have a bowler, another one from Wushu. And
Yeah.
then we have medalists from the Paralympians.
So,
Yes.
marami na pala tayong mga gold medalists, guys.
Dami
Na from long ago. You could all check it out at that Instagram. of
Atletang Pinoy.
Diretso lang, no
Yes.
underscore,
Yes,
no nothing.
Atletang
Okay,
Pinoy.
check it out. Because napaka-interesting ng mga photos niya doon and lahat ng mga tidbits of information. It's our history, guys. Thank you very much,
Thank you so
Eva.
much.
I think magsa-start na rin yung yung wedding. At nandito kami, talagang kinidnap ko na lang siya. And we are gonna go back to the wedding. Bye, guys!